Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the World Cup review show here on WheElyFC TV with me, Stephan, your host. What are we? We are 9 episodes in now, and what a 20 days it's been in the World Cup so far. We've had a few shocks last night, one sort of seismic shock, and one shock that isn't really kind of a shock anymore because the side that went through in that tie, we'll speak about it shortly, are getting better and better as the years have gone on. We've lost one of the pre-tournament favourites in the round of 32. That was the seismic shock I was talking about. And I've got the results to bring you from Sunday and Monday. But before we get into today's show, just a quick reminder that if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It is free. All the other social media handles are down the bottom there. You know what to do with that, guys. Follow, like, share, all that stuff. It all helps the channel. That would be brilliant. And if we could get some new subscribers, that would be brilliant as well. And also, guys, excuse me, just a quick announcement that the podcast will now be available in audio format as well. So if you just want to listen to it while you're on the move, you can do that too, as well as watch the video. So without further ado, let's get into today's show. So first off, we'll go through the results and the permutations from Sunday and Monday. So in Group G, overnight we had Algeria and Austria and Jordan and Argentina. Now, if you remember, for Scotland at the time, Austria was one of those shoulda, woulda, coulda games that we were all waiting on. If other results had gone our way and Austria had beaten Algeria by 2 goals, we would still be in the World Cup. But as it materialised, Algeria and Austria drew 3-0 in their final group game with goals from Belhadi, 2 from Riyad Mahrez, that was the Algerian goals, and goals for Austria were from Marko Arnautovic, Sabitzer and Kalajic in 90 plus 6 minutes. So Austria do qualify for the round of 32. They qualified runners-up to Argentina, the defending World Cup champions. They beat Jordan 3-1 overnight on Sunday night, or the wee early hours of the morning as we see in the UK. They beat Jordan 3-1 with goals from Celcio, Lorenzo Martinez and Messi. Of course, had to be Musa El Tami, got one back for Jordan in the 55th minute, but really that group was fairly simple and sewn up after the second round of fixtures. Argentina finished top of the group with Austria finishing second, so both of those teams advanced to the round of 32. Now, in Group K, we almost had a fright because right at the end of this game, it finished 0-0 between Colombia and Portugal, but right at the end of this game, Davinson Sanchez thought he'd scored to win the game for Colombia with a lovely header. However, it was ruled offside, wait for this one, by the toe of his boot. He was ruled offside. How crazy is that? The toe of your boot major offside. What a shame. Incidentally, it finished 0-0 between Colombia and Portugal. Both teams go through to the round of 32, so well done to them. And in the game between Uzbekistan and Democratic Republic of Congo, which was another shoulda-woulda-coulda result for Scotland if Uzbekistan had won by no more than 3 goals, Scotland may have still been in the World Cup if other results, had gone our way at the same time. But as it turned out, it finished 3-1 to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Jan Visser scored his first 2 goals in the World Cup, and Meli got the final one for Congo, and Schumer got the only goal of the game, and I think the World Cup for Uzbekistan. So we've scored, so that's the main thing. But Democratic Republic of Congo advanced to the round of 32, where we will take on England on Wednesday. Match coverage starts at 4 p.m. here in the UK, but it is a 5 p.m. UK time kick-off for us in the UK, so it'll be 1 p.m. wherever we're playing the game. I think it's Boston, but I'm not 100% in that one. Now, in the first game in the round of 32, the first knockout game, it was South Africa versus co-host Canada. It was 0-0 at half-time. And for all intents and purposes, it looked like it was going to go to extra time and penalties. But Stephan scored in the 92nd minute. And let me tell you guys what a finish this was. This was a brilliant finish. He got the ball, he took a few touches, he levered it towards the goal, and what hit, and incidentally it put Canada into the round of 16, where they'll play the US again. But Canada are proving to be one of those sides where, well, it's Canada. Not a lot of people really know about the Canadian national team outside of Canada and the US, let's say. But they are proving loads of people wrong in this tournament. And Jesse Marsh is apparently becoming a Canadian hero for what he's done with the national team. So well done to Jesse Marsh. I know that some of my podcast colleagues from the Totally 11 Horn Football podcast might not agree with that. Incidentally, guys, if you do want more football content, do check the guys out at the Totally 11 Horn Football Podcast. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Moving on to Monday, the 29th of June, just yesterday, in the round of 32 now, because all the group games are finished. The first game of the day finished Japan 1, Brazil 2. Now, Brazil were actually 1-0 down in this game to a Sano goal in the 29th minute. However, a Man United player and an Arsenal player, that's your clue, scored the 2 goals for Brazil. It was Casemiro in the 56th minute. And for all intents and purposes, that one grew into extra time. However, Gabriel Martinelli in the 95th minute popped up to give Brazil the winning goal. And then at 9 o'clock last night, or 9:30 last night, we had our UK time, we had our first seismic shock of the World Cup. Now, this game between Germany and Paraguay went all the way to penalties. So it finished 1-1 in the 90 minutes. There was no goal scored in extra time, but And since the only Havertz scored for their respective countries, and then it went to penalties. Well, let me tell you, one of the worst penalties I've seen at the World Cup was from the German defender Brown. He basically got underneath the ball, lifted up, and he skied it. And incidentally, Paraguay won 4-3 on penalties due to that miss, but their goalkeeper, Orlando Gil, or Hill, however you pronounce it, was absolutely fantastic in that game. So well done to Paraguay for beating one of the pre-tournament favourites and causing a seismic shock in the world of international football. Can I see them going much further in the tournament? If I was a betting man, I would say no, but they've already made their World Cup sort of own final by beating Germany by 4-3 on penalty it was. I was going to say 2-1 there, but it was 4-3 on penalties. So well done to Paraguay. And it just goes to show, even a team like Brazil almost got beaten by Japan. Now, that wouldn't have been a seismic shock because Japanese football, both domestically and internationally now, is on the rise. And I had Japan as one of my dark horses, but obviously they're out the tournament now. So it's just one of those things in the world of football that can happen from time to time. And it's definitely happened in the World Cup with the German national team losing on penalties to Paraguay. And I suppose a lot of people's thoughts on Germany would be including mine that they've not been at their best in this tournament at all. Julian Nagelsmann came in, obviously took over from Joachim Löw, and there was all this big sort of hype about a new era within German international football, but it's not really materialised at this World Cup. Now, I actually had Germany as my favourite to win the tournament, but sadly that's been a bit scuppered now from the Germans. Incidentally, this episode today might also be a wee bit shorter, guys, just because I've got something on this afternoon, so I'm trying to kind of give you an episode as well, give you the best content I can, but also I've got to do it a wee bit faster today, but with the fixtures not being as many per day as well, the episodes might just be that wee bit shorter. But once again, well done to Paraguay for progressing, but can I see them going much further in the tournament? My answer would be no, in my honest opinion. Moving on to today, overnight we had another last 32 game. It was the Netherlands versus Morocco. Goals were from Cody Gakpo in the 72nd minute and Ayer Diop in the 91st minute. It went all the way to extra time. It was still 1-1. It went all the way to penalties. And wait for this, the Netherlands have gone as well overnight. They lost 3-2 on penalties to Morocco. Now, I must confess, I didn't see this game because I was getting some much needed sleep for what I've got on this afternoon. I'll probably tell you guys more about that in tomorrow's episode. But well done to Morocco for beating the Netherlands and getting through to the last 16, just like Paraguay as well. So well done to those teams coming from the American region over South Americas and beating European teams. So well done to them. And of course, Morocco changed their manager after the 2020. No, after the 2026 Cup of Nations debacle with Senegal, but obviously we won't go into that. Their manager left in because he felt the team needed a freshness, a new bit of impetus, and the new manager's come in and he's now got his claim to fame of beating the Netherlands in the last 32 of the World Cup. So well done to Morocco. Can I see Morocco going far in the tournament? Yes, I can easily see them getting to the semi-finals or at the very least the quarter-finals. Morocco could be a dark one to watch, guys. If your team's gone out and you want a new team to keep an eye on, I would suggest go with Morocco. Now, looking ahead to today's games, we have Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast versus Norway at 6 p.m. UK time. That is 1 p.m. American time. And at 10 p.m. tonight, that is 5 p.m. American time, we have France versus Sweden. Now, on paper, I would say that Norway should qualify for the last 16. However, Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, as we call them in the UK, are also proving to be a dark horse. Excuse me. What I'm discovering with African teams in this tournament is they're very, very strong and very resolute. I mean, look at Ghana's performance against England. They kept that door shut for as long as they could, and well done to Ghana. They got a 0-0 draw out of it. Now, like I say, on paper, Norway should win that with the likes of Haaland and Trossard and all their stars, but I think it's going to be a close one. I think this could be another one that goes either right to the wire in the 90 minutes or goes into extra time. If I had to pick a winner to go through in the tie, who would I pick? I would probably pick Ivory Coast, actually. It would not surprise me if Ivory Coast went through. Now, with the game at 5 p.m. American time or 10 p.m. UK time, it's going to be a lot closer because it is two European sides. We've got Didier Deschamps, France, going up against Graham Potter's Sweden. Well, bear in mind, Sweden were one of the third place best teams that qualified through that route to the round of 32. So how's this one going to go? I'm not sure. I think it's going to be very, very close. I think Sweden will mount a good challenge, but I think ultimately France with Kylian Mbappe should just edge his tie and progress to the round of 16. I'm not going to give you a score prediction because it is going to be close, but I think France will just edge this match this evening. And I think, like I said there, that Ivory Coast should easily progress through as well. And of course, tomorrow, looking ahead to tomorrow in the World Cup round of 32, we have Democratic Republic of Congo versus England at 5 p.m. UK time kickoff or a 1 p.m. American time kickoff. And that one's going to be close because let's be honest, England have not been firing on all cylinders as of yet. That's been abundantly clear. However, Thomas Tuchel says the bigger the game, the bigger the performance will be. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Can Democratic Republic of Congo cause an upset? It's not within the realms of possibility. I mean, it could easily happen. And yeah, I mean, it could easily happen, but I think England's going to edge that one, maybe by 2-1, but England is definitely going to edge it. I should also say that overnight as well tonight, 2 a.m. in the morning in the UK, in the wee hours, we've got Mexico versus Ecuador. Now, for Ecuador's exploits against Germany, that was fantastic. You've seen the passion from the manager, you've seen the passion from the whole country and the team. However, going up against Mexico, in Mexico, it's going to be a tough one, but I think Mexico and Raul Jimenez and co will just edge this one and progress to the round of 16, as will England over Democratic Republic of Congo later on, much later on in that little bracket of fixtures. Then tomorrow night at 9 o'clock UK time kick-off, we've got Belgium versus Senegal. Now, this one is going to be quite a tough one, I think, because Belgium were FIFA's #1 team. A couple of years ago, they were #1 in the world, but we've since obviously lost that status. I don't think Belgium have had the greatest of World Cups this time round either. They were lucky to get through again. They were a third place best team, as was Senegal, but I think, who's going to win this one? I think Senegal might actually take this, and if they do, I tell you, the round of 16 is looking quite rosy for England, barring Argentina and Brazil, but you just never ever know. In the world of football, you just never know what could happen. Like I say, Belgium aren't the team they once were. They were much more of a Belgian team under Mark Wilmots, and after Mark Wilmots we had Roberto Martinez, but the manager we've got now, I'm not so sure. I mean, yeah, we've still got all the stars like De Bruyne and co, but they just have seemed not to click at this World Cup fully yet, which is rather disappointing for Belgium. However, Senegal in their last game against Iraq, now you should expect them to win that comfortably, and they did. They won it 5-0. So if they can replicate that kind of performance, maybe not the scoreline, but the same kind of performance against Belgium, then we should be pretty much on easy street for an African side to win. However, don't rule out the Belgians. That one's going to be close. I could actually see it going all the way to extra time, possibly penalties. But who knows, guys? Who knows? So that has been your World Cup review for the past couple of days. Yes, it's been a slightly shorter and quicker version. However, I will be back tomorrow with a more lengthy episode for you guys. Remember, this one will be out on Spotify and wherever you get your podcast from. Very shortly, I'll upload it after I've finished the episode. But until tomorrow, guys, as always, keep it wheelie, keep it real, and I'll see you all on the next one. If you're watching the games tonight, have fun watching the games. Do let me know in the comments who you think will progress to the round of 16. And as always, guys, take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow at the usual time of 2 o'clock. Until then, bye bye for now, guys.